Hi there. So excited to be here today with you with another Woman of Worth Award winner. Today we are spotlighting Laurel Elian. Laurel, thank you for being here today and congratulations on being a Woman of Worth 2022 award winner.
Wow, Sherri, thank you so very much. It means a lot, and I love it. Thank you.
I would love to ask you, you are like an incredible human being, but I just want to ask you, what does it mean to you to be a woman of worth?
You know, because we all have challenges in our lives, and to part of my journey has been that when my children were little, I was a single mom with them, and I realized that how I do me is what I'm modeling for them. And today, with grandchildren and grown children, I see that that was a really important pivotal point for me in my life, that modeling my behavior and how it creates healthy healthy adults that become healthy adults. I believe that that's important in the step to how we can impact healing the world one human at a time by modeling it for our children.
I love that. And, because this is a celebration of Women's History Month, that is exactly case in point is that you are affecting the next generation by how you're living in this one.
Mhm.
And you're doing an extraordinary job of
Mm.
that. And I'm so proud to know you and to have you in my
Mm.
network. But I know how awesome you are, but I would love
Mm.
for you to share with our viewers how you are making that impact. Because one of the things about being a woman of worth literally means that you are writing your own history. You are creating the story of your life yourself. You are putting yourself into that place in history. So, and you're doing that by serving others. So, Laurel,
Mm.
would you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you serve people?
Well, I love that you're talking about that. In the work that I do, I say I'm a business coach with a therapy background, and actually I was in therapy for a long time because it was where I was finding my footing in the world, because it felt like life had gone in so many different directions. I felt like I didn't have control, and what I call the heroine's journey today is one of the ways that I work with business clients, women who are wanting to get their message out there in the world, but we can get stuck in our story. So, writing the heroine's journey has been a pivotal point in my own healing journey to get my message out there, to get clear on it so I don't get caught in the minutia of it. And in the therapy background, I'm trained as a psychosomatic therapist. I teach people to understand how they've come to be in the shape that they're in. And I always say body, mind, then business, because how you do you, or how the shape of your container, is a metaphor for what's going on in your life, your relationships, and your business. It is going to the next level in your life as the journey of self mastery takes place. And all of us are on a journey to be the better version of ourselves. And we all need a guide. And I didn't see that that's where I was going way back then, but that's where I've come to. So I'm a guide, a mentor to women on their journey to self mastery in their personal life and in their business life.
I
Mhm.
love that. And that is so true. And just being in your network, I see you doing that on a daily basis. And I see you living your truth. And I think that
Mhm.
is really one of the things that is so inspiring about you. Not perfection, but progress and being on the journey and being okay with wherever you are on that journey, right? Just accepting This is what
Mm.
is, and it's awesome. Wherever
Well,
that is
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, right. And on that note, making our mess our message, because it's not been easy, and it's not easy for any of us. We all have our hurdles to overcome, and I've when you're standing on the one side of the fence and it looks like it's easier or greener on the other side, go ahead and jump over and see what that's like, because it only looks like that from your perspective. Because we often see people when they've come through that difficult time, and if you're struggling with comparing yourself, I call it comparitis, that it's just one of the ways that you can ease up on yourself and let go of that struggle, because everybody's going through something right now. That's The internet has changed all of that for us, and it's so true, right?
Absolutely. And I would highly, we're going to talk about some of the things that you offer, but I've taken your classes and I think and meditated with you, and I think everyone should do that, of course. But we'll talk about that in just a minute.
Mm.
I really want to ask you, I know you've had a very interesting journey, as you mentioned, being a single parent, and you know, you've had a completely different career other than the one that we're
Mhm.
talking about. So you've had a lot of growth and change along the way. But I'd like to ask you, what do you think has been your biggest hurdle in creating this life and this legacy that you're leaving? What has been a struggle or a hurdle that you have overcome that you could give somebody a word of hope to overcome that as well?
I'll just point to it. And it's so true. And you often hear mind over matter. And that's why I intentionally say body mind connection, because we let that inner talk beat us up. We often are our own worst enemies. And if that process of getting out of our own way, that in itself is a journey. And that would be where I had to do the most amount of work, because we grow up with the conditioning, of the what's going on with our parents and the family, or however we've come into the world. Those who are in charge of us, we take on their stuff, and we're not meant to stay there. Our human journey means that we're supposed to grow in that. And then we get to that point where it's like, oh, okay, I see things differently. So go and do that journey. Go and be on that path so that you can find your own way. I feel like part of my biggest struggle was that I stayed in that too long, feeling like, oh, I'm a bad daughter, I'm a bad wife, I'm a bad mother, all of those things that this took took control of me. And now today it is, okay, what does my body say? In the work the work that I do, I'm actually trained as a master face and body reader, which comes from the perspective of how you feel about what's happened to you. So I look at things very differently. And that's part of the secret formula, I believe, is start looking outside of the box, question everything, and don't believe anything I say. But, but meditation, right? Meditation is about being still inside of that chaos. And at this time, there's always going to be chaos in the world, and even more important when it seems so global and so close to home. To be still in the chaos is where you really become a master of your emotions.
Oh,
Mhm.
I love that. I love that. And that's the whole thing, when you can master the emotions, you can pretty much get through anything, right? That is the way through the tough stuff and the challenges, and jumping the hurdle is making sure you have a handle on the emotions. So thank you so much for that,
Mhm.
Laurel. So,
Mhm.
since we are talking about celebrating Women's History Month, I'd love for you to share if there has been some powerful woman in your life, a mentor or someone who inspired you along the way in your journey, that you might want to either share a story about or
Mm.
just highlight and acknowledge.
Do you know, honestly, I have had so many great and powerful women in my life. And one of them was, she was actually my grade 1 and grade 3 teacher, Miss Ponce. And I'm in central Canada here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And you know what, how she still impacts my life today. Her story was that she was, her mom was a single mom and in the British Army. And so in the Army, she went to India in her posting. So Miss Fonse had a brother, and her mom raised the two of them as a single mom in the British Army in India. So when I was exposed to her in grade 1 and grade 3, she would bring the beautiful saris and the bells that, and we got to dress up in these amazing outfits. And she taught very strongly about diction, enunciation. I still get teased today. People say, "Oh, I get your Canadian accent," but actually, it's not the accent. It is because she really impressed upon us about the importance of speaking clearly. And it is one of my pet peeves still today, languaging. And I actually have workshops that I've taught about the power of your name because of how you enunciate and so on, the energy in it, and beautiful handwriting. And when I, you know, go into speaking about the heroine's journey, there's a really strong connection with picking up that pen or pencil and the flow that comes through the writing. It's the left right brain working together, working on that logical and that creative aspect of you, and to write out that story that is your heroine's journey. And till recently, I'm going to be turning 60 this year. She was the first Christmas card that I got every year until just recently. She came to my first wedding. And I remember two occasions meeting her in our downtown area in our city. She is like a rock star. I had to stand in line 2 times when I saw her on the street, stand in line to speak to her because there were so many people that it's like, "Hi, Miss Fonse. Hi, Miss Fonse." And if she's with us today in spirit hearing this, I still love her dearly. My children know her. My husband know her. They've never met, but they know who she is.
I
So,
love that. What
mhm,
an amazing story. You, like, literally gave me goosebumps. And
mhm,
I'm like,
mhm,
that is what we're talking about when we're talking about legacy, which is actually gonna lead right into my next, question because this she impacted you in such a way because of her legacy.
mhm,
I'd like to ask you, Laurel, what is it 50 years from now that somebody's going to be talking about Laurel Elian's legacy and the impact that they had, that you had on them?
mhm,
What
mhm.
is it that they're going to be saying about you?
Well, I can just imagine. I have a sense of humor that is, you know, I can be taken or perceived as being very serious. And that the underside of that is that I really enjoy life. And everything that I do in my business is how I live. It's really important to me that what I say is what I do first. And my health is so important to me. I believe that taking care of your body is what gives you so much joy in your life, that you can enjoy simple acts in your life. That I I know that my children today, as their young parents, that they're modeling a lot of the things that maybe we didn't agree about when they were younger, and it's come to be that I see that the impact of taking care of their health. They would say that, yeah, that Laurel, she was up early, she took care of herself, she did her yoga, and she always had great hair.
I love that.
I know it
Wonderful.
annoys some of my girlfriends. It's like, it always looks good. It's like, yeah, I've learned less is more.
That's right. I love it. But that's what a fabulous thing, you know. And I think you're going to be impacting many along the way, and maybe with your hair as well. I don't know. We just had a big discussion about hair. So, maybe you'll impact my hair. We'll see. Anyway, I thank you so much for being with me today, Laurel, and I celebrate you as a Woman of Worth award winner for 2022. I'm so proud to call you friend. I would love to be able to have you share with our viewers how they can connect with you, and maybe how they can take one of those workshops or those meditations with you. And I know you have other big things coming in the future, but let's share how they can get connected with you.
Well, and you know what, Sherri, I just want to say too that one of the things that I love in my business is how the beautiful women that have come into my life that inspire me, and that I get to connect with you and women that are just like you too. So I feel, just honored to be in such great company. So that's been such a precious part of the business that I do, is the people that I get to spend time with. And LorrelElian.com is the easiest way to get a hold of me, and it's the hub for everything else that's happening. If you're a woman looking for resources and want to go to the next level, I have a free Facebook group that you're so welcome to join. It's self mastery for empowered women. We do meditation. You learn about the body mind connection, and it's a safe place for you to just ask your questions and hopefully to be inspired. And so come and join us. And thank you so much. Come meditate with us and get into your body.
Heavens, yes. And I'm still practicing some of those things that I learned in your workshop, like walking backwards and all kinds of things. And we're like, there's all kinds of fun things you're going to learn if you take one of Laurel's classes. So I want to just say again, congratulations, Laurel. Thank you so much for being such a bright light in the world to so many, and for having the courage and the confidence and the conviction to stand up and stand out as that unrepeatable miracle that you are.
Oh, thank you so much, Sherri. I just love you. Mwah.